Hey everyone, sorry for the delay on this video, but today I'm gonna show you how to build these shoji doors as seen in my last post. So I'm gonna make a 3-doorway wall with one door at the left sliding. So remember, this is only a prototype, so some of these things are just temporary and you can change them out when putting them in an actual build. To start off, you're gonna place a 2x4 tile, just like that, together with a 1x8 tile and a 1x4 tile. So you have this sliding pattern, which the sliding door is going to slide in. A little tip is to put a 1 by I don't know manistad. Now a little tip is to use a 1 by 12 by 2, or not really by 2, 2 plates, and use them as a edge in order to make the doors more stable and not fall out. Put one on this side too, so the doors can slide safely in there. Also do the same thing except with a 1 by 8 by 6. Also do the same with a 2 1 by 8 plates on top of each other and put it in this empty spot right here. There you go. And as you can probably see, this is the door right here that's going to slide. You don't have to put a door in an edge. You can also have the door in the middle to slide, but then you're gonna have to modify it a little bit. So next step we're gonna go ahead and do is place these poles, which is 1 by 6 1 by 1 by 6 plus one little stud on top. It doesn't have to be round. And these are going to be, let's see, either here or here. I think they're going to be here. We might change that later. Let's see. Here we go. And the next thing we're gonna go ahead and do is place 2 of the doors that's going to be stuck. So these doors, I reckon they might be a little rare to have laying around. You don't have to use these type. You can also build your own. This is an example that I threw together. As long as they are 1 by 4 by 6, it's okay. And we're gonna place 2 of these on top of the inner edge that we put there. Next thing we're gonna go ahead and do is put a 1 by 6 tile on top of this, as far to the left as we can, just like that. Also remember, the colors of these pieces are just for showing. If you're going to build this in an actual build, pick colors that are more accurate. I just don't have the right colors. Next thing we're gonna go ahead and do is we're going to turn this around. And on the back side you can see we're going to use something that we can put that we can stop the doors with. If we move this back, so we're gonna put a pole. Doesn't really matter how long as of now. I'm going to show you later how you can modify it to fit better and be more stable. But put one at the right there, as you see, as far in as you can go. And you're also gonna place one about the same length on this side, perhaps like there, as you can see, it's perfect there, and we're going to modify those later. The length doesn't really matter as of now. Now the next thing we're gonna go ahead and do is make the actual sliding door that's going to slide. This is a prototype I made, and we're going to start off by taking a 1x4 plate. We can put that there, and then we're going to put another one of these, the third one of these sliding doors, the shoji doors, and we're going to put it so the outside of it points out from the 2x4. So this edge is right here. Now we're going to put two 1x1 plates as, let's see, there we go, in the corners of this one. This is where the door is going to slide. And as of this prototype, I use this as a handle. I put a 1x4 tile that I grab in, and then I drag in it. This doesn't look very well, and you can change it if you want. You can also use this as a handle, which you can drag in, or just use the door. It's up to you. Anyways, we can put the door in its place for now, and we can turn this around again. Here we go. And now we're going to do the upper part, we could say. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put a 1 by, as of course the length is varies depending on how long you made your wall. So it's going to fit from this pillar that we put here to the other pillar over here. And as you can see, there's a few stuff on top of it, and we're going to, you can follow along with what I've already built here. So we have a 1x8 tile on top of a plate here. It's a little hard to see. Let me, there we go. You can see that it's a plate on top of the bar that we put here. It doesn't have to have holes in it, of course. It looks better without it. So it's a plate on top of it, and length doesn't really matter. If we go back, we can put back our 1x8 tile. And it's 1x8 because that's the double length of the sliding door. It's going to go from, you put it from where the sliding door edge start to where the sliding door's edge stop when it's pulled out, which is right here. And the next thing we're gonna go ahead and do is put two 1x1 plates on top of each other, and then put them in the edge here, in the corner I mean, and the same thing here. And now we're gonna make the mechanism that makes this work, which it looks like this. We're going to start off by taking one of these pieces, and I understand that this can be a very rare piece to have lying around, and you might not even have seen this, but this is made for having things slide in it. You can put studs in it and it can slide like this. If you don't have one of these pieces, you could build your own. It will be a little more bulky, but it will work. Anyways, you'll get to figure out that yourself. I'm going to use this piece, and the next thing we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna put a 1x2, two 1x2 plates, one stud from the edge. And we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this side, so it's metric. And let's see. Yes, we're going to put a 1x4 tile like that. And you could use a 1x6 because it will be a little more stable. However, it will point out a little bit. You can solve that yourself. Same thing on this side. And you're going to have 2 stops at the end. They don't have to be round, you can do a little how you want, but one by ones at the end so it can stop it. We can rest this on top of this tile that we put here earlier. Make sure that this track goes right where the studs of the sliding door is. Just like that. Oops. And the next thing we're gonna go ahead and do is make sure that this stays in place, of course. So we're gonna start off by putting a 1x4 plate in the middle of this. And then we're gonna put 2 1x1 plates at the corners, just like that. And then we're gonna put something on top of that. And it doesn't really matter how long it is, of course, it depends on how long you built your wall. But I'm gonna put it right here so it covers all of it. Now this cannot get out, it's stuck there and it's safe to glide in, which I'll get to later. Make sure that if you build this in an actual build, you can smoothen it out and put some pieces here and make it look like an actual wall. And if we spin this around again, we could say that the door is technically done right now. Because if you have this handle here, or if you're pulling in this, you can pull out it and you can slide it. That's how it works. But we're not entirely done yet, because you can always make it more stable. This is not very stable as of now, and not this pillar either. So we're going to connect these pillars into this. And of course it would be more stable if we had 4 walls, which most houses have. So we're going to smoothen it out and put a few more bricks on top of these pillars, as well as on this side. Length matters, so it depends on how we built it before, but it's going to be 1 stud under the edge that, let's see if my camera can focus. There we go, 1 stud under the last long piece we put there. You see, like that. Because then we can go ahead and put a rim in between these pillars, just like that. Now the pillars are together and they're stable. And to top it off, we can put a piece to connect these pillar rims to the rims of the doors. And you can do that however you want. I'm gonna use a 2x8 plate. And now you could say you're done. It could need some more brushing up, but that's up to you depending on how you want it. And I'm gonna answer a simple question that I assume a lot of you have. Why don't you just put simple plates, tiles on the ground, and put the door on top of there and then a roof? Well, it's a little hard to explain, but if you would do that, you would have to make it very wide. And the whole point of shoji doors is that they're thin. That's the whole point of them. And therefore I made this mechanic where the sliding part goes out and then the door slides in it. You could try yourself to build it otherwise. I'm sure there's many other ways you could do it, but this is my way to do it. And if you have any more questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments. I'm going to answer every single one of them. And yeah, that's pretty much it about the door. You could, I know this looks a little odd, you could hang lanterns in them, or you could put your floor here and here, like a roof here and a floor here. So then they would be inside the build, you wouldn't really notice them. And you can also elevate the floor at the bottom so you won't have these rims. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this time. And if you like mock like this, make sure to follow me, which is not a very common concept of Reddit, but I'm going to post a lot more since it's summer break, and I have a really huge mock that I've been working on for months, coming up in maybe just a week or so. Anyways, bye.